some friendly body language there. These days, the future is still more uncertain than ever. That's why people who know what's coming are using today to prepare. You can't wait until the last moment. By then, it's too late. The most important thing you need is a long-term storage emergency food. It stays fresh for up to 25 years and will be there when you need it. I strongly recommend My Patriot Supply, America's leader in self-reliance. They're the only source I use for emergency food planning. And right now, you can save $50 off a 4-week supply of delicious meals that provide up to 2,000 plus calories a day. Calories give you energy you need to survive, and saving $50 is impossible to pass up. But supplies are limited. Order by 3 p.m. and your order ships the same day. So go to preparewithnatly.com and stock up now. That's preparewithnatly.com. Muchachos y muchachas, hold on to your butts, because cheese and crackers, we've got some developments, and I'm kind of glad that I said muchachos y muchachas, cheese and crackers, hold on to your butts, because a lot is happening very fast, different angles and facets. And I'm going to cover one of these things right now, and that is Jeffrey Epstein. Some new photos have emerged of Jeffrey Epstein being at the White House meeting Bill Clinton. Apparently this was some sort of VIP tour, and let's just dive into some details. But before I do, I just want to say this is partial and the start, I believe, of some vindication. Some people call us crazy. They call us these conspiracy wackos. And look, things are just rolling out by the day. The things that we have been telling people about, and finally, there's some sort of fruit. All right, let's go ahead and dive in. This was actually originally reported by The Sun. A lot of people dog on The Sun, but just like Daily Mail and The Sun, these sources, they do have some left-leaning bias, but a lot of times they do come out with some really great, groundbreaking information like this. And this is the President the Pervert. Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein, and President Bill Clinton smile together in never-before-seen images. Ghislaine Maxwell grins as Jeffrey Epstein and Bill Clinton shake hands during a tour of the White House. The never-before-seen images obtained by The Sun on Sunday can be published for the first time. Following this says heiress court appearance, which they're talking about Ghislaine Maxwell. She's currently awaiting a trial, or I'm sorry, she had her first court appearance recently, but we are awaiting the meat and potatoes of the entire trial on Friday. And this is actually a sketch from the first court appearance. I think this is Ghislaine, which is, that's very different from the first sketch that we've always seen of her with short hair and heavy makeup. So if this is her, looks like she's got some grown out gray hair, and she's looking very frail, which it will mention that in the article. Ahead of her sex trafficking trial, Maxwell's family has launched a website with a glowing biography and highlighting her supposed achievements after moving to the U.S. in 1990. But there is no mention of the White House bash in September 1993, where she and her pedophile ex-lover were VIP guests of President Bill Clinton. So I do want to take a small waltz over to that website and just kind of see. I'm not going to go in depth or anything like that, but I just want to see what they have going for her. So this is realghislaine.com, and this front page basically overviews that it's being managed and, posted by her siblings, by her family members. And then in the About Ghislaine section, it overviews like what their view of her accomplishments are and, what she's done for the environment. They do mention the 𝘕𝘰𝘓 project, which I find very interesting. I did an entire video on that. You can go to my website, natlydenise.com. At the very bottom, it says exclusives. It should not charge you, so you can sign up and, go watch all the videos that I did in my past. I'm still awaiting my platform to be approved so I can post those freely so that it could just be accessible. So Until then, they're on my website, so you can go check that out. But I did an entire spiel an entire thing on the 𝘕𝘰𝘬𝘀 Project. And, I find it quite ironic or quite amusing that they would booster up this whole thing, because when you looked more into the 𝘕𝘰𝘬𝘀 Project, it's got a lot of connections to MIT. Just the other day, we learned that Eric Lander, who is the Biden scientific nominee for his cabinet, his ceremony or his confirmation is being held up because he has ties to Epstein, and those ties are through MIT and some, scientific work that they were discussing. Well, I think that has a lot to do with the 𝘕𝘰𝘬𝘀 Project, because, there were different little details and elements that were sort of aligned. And the 𝘕𝘰𝘬𝘀 Project, it just in a nutshell, you can go to my website again, check out that video. But in a nutshell, 𝘕𝘰𝘬𝘀 Project was this weird ideology where it was a concept, rather, not an ideology. It was a concept of having some sort of jurisdiction over the seas and having some sort of property regulation of the seas, and you would have like a citizenship. It was just weird. It was just really weird. It was speculated that they could have wanted to do something along the lines of Jeffrey Epstein's wild ideas with seeding his sperm and creating this race and doing all these things. So anyway, I know that's a rabbit hole, but I just find it curious that they would mention this here on her website. So anyway, and booster it as some sort of like plus. Anyway, I know that was a rabbit hole, but there is no mention of the White House bash in September of 1993. They're talking about that website we just visited here. There's no mention of her having any ties or visiting with the White House, where she had a pedophile ex-lover were VIP guests of the president. They toured Clinton's residence and the East Room during a reception after Epstein gave £7,280 to the refurbishment of the Oval Office. So now we know that Epstein somehow financed in some form towards the presidency of Bill Clinton. Oops. A source said last night, the photos show just how close Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein got to one of the most powerful men in the world in the most powerful building. Maxwell and Epstein were known to have befriended Clinton and took him on an African tour in Epstein's Lolita Express jet after the president's 8 years in the White House. But these pictures show them already cozying up to Clinton just a year into his presidency. And here are the photos here. So you can see that they are on some VIP White House tour. Bill Clinton, conversing with them. Some friendly body language there. The White House reception, hosted by both Clinton and wife Hillary, was for people who contributed towards the £290,000, I think it's pound or euros, I'm sorry if I butchered that, but I think it's pounds, renovation via the White House Historical Association. Records pulled from the William J. Clinton Library and Museum in Little Rock, Arkansas show both Epstein and Maxwell's names on the guest list. An A is placed next to their names, indicating they plan to attend. White House Social Secretary Ann Stock, who is listed in Epstein's Little Black Book, was the reception's point of contact. Epstein is said to have been in the White House at least 3 times, according to the U.S. website, the Daily Beast. Clinton, which is interesting because Chelsea Clinton is actually on the board of the Daily Beast. I don't know if you guys knew that. So, Clinton, 74, has always denied knowing anything about Epstein's crimes. Epstein killed himself in New York, or supposedly, he had a fatal something after being arrested. So we all know that. And I believe this was Ghislaine at a Oceanic Foundation, like sort of thing where she spoke at. Maxwell appeared gray and frail as she appeared in the New York court on Friday. She faces 8 charges relating to the billionaire's illicit activities between 1994 and 2004, a decade. She denies wrongdoing and faces trial in July. So there you have it. Those are the pictures of Jeffrey Epstein, Bill Clinton, Ghislaine, formal wear. And what makes me wonder, are these people in the background? You know, so I don't know, guys. I think we're in it. I think we're in it. The Southern District of New York is a jurisdiction that, you know, needed to be reformed in order for all this to happen. Right after, I think his name was Jeffrey �々or something like that. He was the Southern District of New York's Attorney General when he was fired within the presidency of Donald Trump. It was like, I think weeks after that, or maybe it was days after that, Ghislaine was arrested. So she's been apparently secure. Apparently she's there. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens going forward. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this video. Thank you so much for your support for the channel. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys in another video that I think you'll find interesting as well.